Hey there, guys. It's Poopy here, and of course, I'm joined by Chef in the background. This is a bit more casual video. I wanted to go over what I've learned about Zen so far. In our most recent podcast episode, I said that Zen is the worst hero in the game, and I don't know that I still agree with that. Zen has a lot of power when things go right, but he is the worst defensive hero in the game, and that's build dependent, right? So you can build a very powerful defensive Zen build. I don't think it closes out games well enough to make it worth running over, say, a fatigue Katsu or a fatigue Fi. So with that said, I wanted to present a deck that to me feels the most like what Zen wants to try and do, or what we want to try and do generally as people who are drawn to play Zen. I have tried. Let me check my notes here. I've tried Fatigue Zen. I've tried transcending on the opponent's turn. I've tried a casino style where you run Crown of Dominion and Mage Master boots. I've tried wide chain tigers. I've tried tall tigers. I've tried rushing river combo. I've tried a hybrid combo list, and this is the list that I've landed on for what I think feels the most like what Zen wants to do. First of all, before we even go into the list, let me back up my claim that he's the worst defensive hero in the game. I currently run 13 no blocks and 22 blocks. 27 3 blocks. No 4 blocks. So, why do we play Zen? Well, we play Zen because we want to do cool transcend things. We want to have these big tiger turns. But why not just play Katsu? That may be a separate video, because I do think if you want to play tigers, that Katsu is the better hero. However, one of the cool things that Zen has that Katsu doesn't is a card called Shifting Winds of the Mystic Beast. You might look at this card and say, that's a trap. That card is, that's going to be a dead card in your hand. Because it's, for one cost, it's a yellow predatory streak. Actually, I'm sorry, that's incorrect. For one cost, it is a card that changes the combo names. And that's cool. That's really cool, but you don't have access to tutoring if you don't have chi, and if you pitch chi to this, you won't have extra chi to tutor. But if you do pitch chi, you also get 2 crouching tigers in your hand. So this is one of the cards that is going to be something that we look for as a payoff. Why do we want tigers in our hand? We want tigers in our hand for a couple of things. Art of War. We can banish a tiger from our hand. There is a card, I don't have it in the list, but it's in the maybe list. You're going to want to know this card if you're building Zen. It feels like Zen's power card, but it's called Tooth and Claw. And when it attacks, you may reveal any number of crouching tigers from your hand. The condition for 1 is you get go again. 2, it gets +1, and 3 is draw a card. Draw a card is the most powerful thing that you can do as Zen, because your turns can go so wide, and sometimes you just need an extra transcend card. So that's another reason we want tigers in hand. My favorite reason we want tigers in hand is this new card called Rowdy Locals. If it's defended by an action card, it gets +2. And when it hits a hero, you can discard a card. If you do, they discard a card. If you have a tiger in your hand, you can discard that card. So you're really not going neutral there. You're going positive. Another way we can get tigers in our hand is Mind State of the Tiger. Zen does need occasionally to have some setup turns. I might consider running maybe another one of these. But Companion of the Claw gets a tiger in your hand. And so does one of Zen's best cards, Harmony of the Hunt, and there are more cards that I guess I just didn't find room for them in this list. Harmony of the Hunt, I believe the other one is called Tiger Stance. Let's take a look here at Zen's cards that get tigers in it. Tiger Form Incantation is the other one. I'm currently not running any of those, but I don't know that I think that that's a wise decision. I know I've gone back and forth on those a lot. What am I running to make tigers valuable? Well, I'm running, obviously, Roar of the Tiger. If you're in any tiger list, you'll know this card. Gives crouching tigers +1 and makes a tiger in your hand. I'm running Maul, which is a reaction that can target a tiger to get more tigers. Head Leads the Tail is an important piece for making all tigers on the chain get an additional +1. This card can name any card except Head Leads the Tail, which is unfortunate because sometimes I have wanted to name Head Leads the Tail just to attack for 4. You cannot do that. Art of War, obviously, can buff tigers. Shuko is a way that we can buff the second tiger that we play. Tiger Taming Kakara. Tiger Taming Kakara. It's going to take me a minute to get used to that. We'll buff the next tiger that we play, regardless of it hits. And then we have Wind Chakra. Now, Wind Chakra is interesting in that it's not an instant. So you do have to do this at the start of your turn if you don't want to break the chain. So this is a nice transition for us to talk about Chi and how transcending works, because one of the big things with Zen is you want to be transcending, so you have to play blue cards. Okay? So if you have a card that has transcend and a condition that can be met, for example, this condition cannot be met yet if I were to play Wind Chakra, because it has to target an attack. But when I play Wind Chakra, before it resolves, I have still played a blue card. It hasn't resolved, but I've played it. So I can then play Preserve Tradition to put a card from my graveyard on the bottom of my deck and Transcend. When I Transcend, I do choose to gain a resource, and then the second condition in this card is met. Or the only condition, really. I have transcended this turn. So my next Crouching Tiger will come in for +3. Knowing that is a very important part of Zen. In fact, I'm looking at this list now and I'm seeing that, well, I felt good about it before coming into this. I'm going to stick with it. But I do think the Companion of Claw, Harmony of the Hunt, and maybe the other, the Tiger Form Incantation, or whatever it's called, I think those in blue are all very playable because you want to play blue cards and you want to pitch blue cards in this deck. One of my favorite payoffs for these turns that end up being crazy wide, you've gotten your Mask of Momentum trigger, you've had Art of War draw you additional cards, maybe you were even able to get Orahon of Mystic Tenets off. One of my favorite payoffs for that is Deep Blue Sea. Especially if you end up running a casino-style build. I've even looked at running Starting Stake in this deck, so that you just on a setup turn, you have a gold, so when you do come around to this, you can pitch for the gold, draw a card, pitch again to play this later because you have one resource floating. So it's an interesting way that you can build Zen, is with some gold payoffs. I don't know that that's where this deck will land, but this is one of my favorite cards for finishing chains. And why do we run this over any 7? Well, because we need to be running blues. We need to be playing them. We need to be pitching them. And the list is it's too demanding of blues. I run 34 in the list, right? My Katsu list that I, have always been on, that I don't even know if it runs 34 reds, right? So this list needs to have blues. I'm going to get into a game here. Hopefully it doesn't take too long. So this is not the only equipment I've tried. This is interesting. Riptide. Historically, not the best matchup for ninjas. But we'll see how this goes. I've played Riptides recently and been having a lot more success on Tigers than I did on the Dishonor line. So to start us off here, well, this seems like a pretty good hand, and I don't know that I really want them to be able to defend against this. So I might consider just passing, but if it's an aggro Riptide, that won't do us any favors. So what we're going to do, we're going to arsenal our 100 wins. So this one floating is the reason we run Mauling Key over Key Unleashed, right? I believe there's Key Unleashed in this list as well. But because of 12 Petal Kasaya, we can transcend, get a resource, pitch to activate it. That actually is quite good here. We're still gonna play this out. But as I was saying, we can always search for Mauling Key off a turn where we've transcended, and we don't have to worry about having any additional resources floating because Kasaya makes the 1 to pay for Mauling Key. The Chi makes enough energy to pay for Zen. So that's why we, I think, prefer Mauling Key over Key Unleashed. If you're looking for a card to pick up before it skyrockets, Mauling Key is a good one. I would also look at Tiger Eye Reflex and Growl, all of which are in the Ira Tolarian Community College deck. I would pick that deck up if you can for under... If you can do it for under $25, I think you should do it. We'll see if they've loaded a trap. They already hit us with 2. And I don't think I was paying close enough attention for that inertia trap. Nah, that was last. So we're not going to be able to keep our Tiger. There we go. It's a lot of traps to be playing, and that is not going to trigger. So I am okay with just ripping traps out of their deck, actually. That's fine by me. Here's a turn where I think that we'll probably want to set up, right? I don't really love this hand. We're not going to be able to get much done here, right? So, I mean, sort of the best thing that we could do here, if we wanted to play it out, just take all the damage we're about to be presented and play it out, would be to pitch, play this for 3 go again, into 100 wins for 3 go again, probably into Tiger for 2 go again, and then Arsenal Key Unleashed. I don't like that, though. So we are going to be a bit more defensive here. Luckily, we've drawn into one of Zen's few hands that doesn't have a no block. I think we said there were 12 no blocks in the deck, so, it's almost a quarter of the deck has no blocks. And they saw a blue, which is awesome. Because now we actually get value out of this 100 wins. Premeditate. What we don't want to see here is an inertia token, because what I would really like to do is just block with Ki Unleashed, play Mind State, and Arsenal levels of Enlightenment. Because if we get a turn where we can pitch at least 2, okay, great. This is coming in for 7, 10. We can handle that. We can take 7 here. Might seem insane, but to keep levels of Enlightenment in our arsenal, I think it's worth it, because we need to play blue cards, right? If we on our next hand draw a bunch of Transcend cards but don't have a blue, we're gonna be without any options. So here we go. Set back up. So we did draw the Art of War, and we're going to make a tiger in hand, okay? So that's already pretty good. There's a lot of things we could do here. This could be the turn that we block with Stride of Reprisal, just to, or I like to call this Skateboard. We could block with Skateboard here. One of them at random and put it into your arsenal. Does this have a name counter? Oh, it doesn't need to. Okay. So all of these would trigger. Whichever one they get will trigger. And it's for 9, so we can't comfortably cover it. Let's see, 3, that's 6, 8. Taking 9 and a Blood Rot. Which is not, not an ideal thing to do, but, what we have to do first, we have to first play Art of War, because we'll be able to, we have this tiger in our hand, we'll banish it. In fact, let's see if he lets me go back. I'm going to block with Stride of Reprisal, just because I want to have a tiger in hand outside of the one that Art of War makes, just in case this Art of War fails and it's just a dead. There we go. Because I want to have enough to play Ki Unleashed. I'm hoping that whatever I draw into is more value than just a pitch. That's the worst case scenario here. Is I play Harmony of the Hunt, I have enough to pitch for Kakura, then play a tiger, and then Ki Unleashed. That would be a bad turn. A lot of this could be a pretty bad turn. I think I may have messed up the randomization of the trap that. Let's see. Okay. This is a common issue I have with Talishar. Oop, fuck. Sorry, opponent. Yeah, they're trying to get the trap they got first, I think. So now my opponent won't. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. They refuse to continue the game until I go back to how it originally happened. Honestly, it's fine. I mean, I'm. Let's see if they do it. If they do it again here, I'll just play it out. Okay. Um. Now there's a chance I draw into like quite a good blue hand here, but I think I'd rather pitch this and get rid of um one of these guys. Okay, that's all right. Because what I can do is I can play two of these, and then I can draw a card off of this. And resource management's really important in Zen. I'm probably not doing a great job showing off this deck just because I'm, taking so much damage and doing very little output. But that's kind of Zen's problem. Um, yes, there are the turns where you do 1,000 damage. Those happen every so often. It's awesome when they happen. But you know, not the most reliable. Okay, so this is cool, right? I really like the ability to keep the tiger swipe for last or go tiger tiger key unleashed, but because key unleashed doesn't have go again, um I might just arsenal key unleashed, like but it'll be for 8, tiger for 1, tiger for 1, tiger for 1, and then 5. Or we could go 2 2 1 5. But I think the best call is actually 1 1 5 1 8. Whenever I play Tiger Swipe, I pretty much every time I try and keep a tiger in my hand. Especially if I was on Mask of the Pouncing Lynx here, which I'm not sure that Mask of Momentum is the right call. I didn't put a sideboard into this list because I just kind of wanted one for this video. But definitely against a Riptide, run that over Mask of Momentum. Hopefully, we draw out enough traps here. Now, if they hit us with a I think they, their target trap is still in there, so they are going to cover this up. If they don't, we draw a card and we get, what, 3, 4 tigers? No, 3, I believe. Yep. And I don't necessarily care about the blood rot, right? I'm taking damage. That's what's going to happen. But preventing them from having a turn back is really what I want to be doing here. At least a disruptive turn. If they present, if they decide to break this, and let's say this is just like endless arrow for 8, even at 20, I want to have the cards in my hand. I don't know what they are yet, so maybe I'll feel differently, but I really want to just keep the engine alive. Oh no, I forgot about balance. Now, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 chain links long. I want to talk about shifting winds of the Mystic Beast here, in case I don't get a chance to play it this game, and what we do with shifting winds. Let's say we play out 6. We have 6 tigers that we're able to play, and we have a chi, making it 7 tigers. And we started with shifting wind, right? So we pitched for shifting wind. We had a couple predatories. We had more chi that we were able to transcend, make more, and activate Zen. So, with shifting winds of the Mystic Beast, what we end up doing... This is good. This is really good. What we end up doing is we name every tiger 100 wins. You could do this with spinning wheel kick as well, and you'll have the resources for it. We name every tiger that. And then we use our Zen ability and we go grab... See, not great just taking damage, especially against a Riptide who's going to be able to present it on our turn as well. This is a 12 damage turn, right? But I kind of gotta play this out, right? So first we start with the Biting Breeze, and we will transcend. Okay. I won't be able to use this chi for Zen, because I am now going to use it for this. Hopefully we get more chi. We get Art of War and quite a bit more chi. Okay. I really want this to hit. I really want to hit so I can make a tiger in my hand and I can play Art of War without... That's awesome. I mean, that's... So now we go here. We'll shuffle and we'll transcend and we'll make this resource. Yes, I do want to gain a resource. Thank you so much. All right, here the engine is starting to roll. We'll make a tiger. Oh, in our banish zone. Oh, that hurts so much. See, this is why tigers in your hand is so valuable, because this essentially has the same impact as... Oh, wow. Oh no. See, this turned into a really bad turn. We had all of our chi. We had 4 transcend cards next to each other. And an Art of War. So at least it could have been a lot worse. We could have had all of that in our hand. And I know I haven't been blocking, but that's really because I just want to show what a good Zen turn looks like. And this is the problem with this hero. This is what I've been saying. Draw a card. Put a card from your hand on the bottom of your deck. That's what we're going to do. That's what we're going to have to do. Do I want to gain chi? Yeah. Or resource? Yeah, I do. Oh boy. I mean, okay. So I don't even know if I run blue Key Unleashed, but if I do, we can pitch for that. Oh, what a miserable. See, for every video that you see that says here's Zen's 1000 damage turn. Know that there are 5 of these games. Now, these come in for 1. And I'll have 3 tigers this turn. And I'll probably put grains in my arsenal. Unless I have blue Key Unleashed, in which case I'll probably do that. Or, better yet, I'll transcend, I'll make a resource, and I'll pitch. Now even then I won't be able to cover both of them unless I use... They're keeping a full hand. I mean, I want the mask. That's what I want. More than an arsenal, I want a card draw. There is a chance that this is inner chi. I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure that we... Oh, they have... Okay. There we go. Would have been great if we were having a Mystic Winds turn and had about 6 more tigers. So I do have a red Key Unleashed, but it won't get pumped. But I could do this for 4, and then this for 5, or I could do this for 4, tiger for 1, and this for 8. So that's what we're going to do. And then we will pitch our chi, and we will hope we don't make it to the end of our deck where all of our chi is without at least being able to activate Zen one more time. Now the question is, do we take 4 damage at the end of this turn? And they have so many cards in their hand. I'm just gonna say yeah, why not? Let's ball out. Let's ball out. Put that on a magnet and put that magnet on your fridge. And every time you go to get a little treat, say to yourself, let's ball out. And then ball out, you know? Don't be afraid to ball out, is what I'm saying. A lot of people in this modern era with cancellation, people are afraid to ball out because of the internet and amiibos. This is amiibo's fault. If I was Riptide, I'd take this 8 that I'm about to send. I'd take this 8 because if you can send something back where I get down to 2 or 3, I'm in lethal. So you just take this 8, pump the shit out of whatever you got, and send it to me. I run no blocks. Take a 5. I get that. Taking 5 is smarter. I'd have put Perch Grapplers in front of it, though. Take 3. That's what I would have done. Pop. I go down to 8. Okay. Do you see what I see? I see 4 damage being presented if we block with... Oh, he just keeps hitting the blues. That's beautiful. So, the most damage that we can present right now... I'm just going to go pure, like... Okay. I could cover this. If I cover this, I can't be killed just by traps in hand. They'd have to have Pitfall Trap, okay? Or what I can do is, because Tiger Swipe is going to be for 4, it's the most threatening thing, and we'll have 4 instances before that, right? But if I cover this, so instead of having 1, 2, 1, 1, 4, probably... Okay. I would rather have the 2 from this plus 1 on one of these. So go 2, 2, 1, 1, 1, 4. If I sound like a crazy person, it's because I am. Don't be afraid to ball out. Do you see what I see? Now I want to ask myself, is there a reason to... I think there is probably a good reason to go Tiger, then Taming, Tiger, Swipe. I think that's what you do because they want to prevent mask. Okay. So you might even go... See, I got 3 more Tigers after this. So I should probably go Tiger, Taming, Tiger. Right? Interesting. Okay, so now we would force them to block this Tiger here to prevent mask. or we pitch to attack and then hope they don't block these guys. Because if they block this, then these guys won't threaten mask, but this will, and they're already going to block that, right? So I think we send this. Because we can still threaten mask if they let Tiger Taming Kakara hit. And honestly, I don't know. Yep. That makes sense. I'd have done that. I'd probably block the Kakara with Perch Grapplers. Or, you know, the Tiger with it at least. In another video, I'll do a Katsu Tiger build. And I think most people will be able to see why I value that as the better Tiger list. And the reason is, you know, every time you hit, that's a potential Tiger swipe, right? I mean, that list is really good right now. Hopefully they give this a card. If they give this a card, we're in a really good shape because they're gonna cover this with probably a defense reaction, to be honest. They'll probably be able to cover the whole thing. Interesting. Really happy it's not collapsing trap. That was so good for us. That was so good for us. Because like any card could have covered that. Purge Grapplers could have covered that. Now this requires 2 cards or a defense reaction with a 4 base. So that was... I know a lot of people are on the Riptide train right now, and that Riptide is getting better. And then a D-react, right? Okay. This could be game. It's not even active. That's wild. That is wild. Oh, buddy. Now we get to do what I had, you know, been hoping we could. Let's see. What am I doing? I'm banishing a card. You are not in any world getting that back. Okay. So the first Tiger I play is going to be for 4. This turn is not nearly as good as if we had 12 Petal, because if we had 12 Petal, we would be able to also use our weapon. But that's okay, right? This gives us enough to hopefully get back into the game. We are going to name Crouching Tiger. So we are going to get to name these Crouching Tigers things. It doesn't really matter because we won't have a follow-up unless all 3 of these hit, but if all 3 of these hit, we've won the game. Frailty! Huzzah! We do take 1 from that. Frailty Trap. No. Oh no. Whatever will I do? Frailty Trap is devastating against Kodachis, but it is not devastating against tigers. So this does not get a pump from having it does not have two instances of the same name, right? And so as a matter of fact, we shouldn't name that. We should name 100 wins just to keep them guessing, right? But if we had named this Crouching Tiger again, doesn't get a bonus, right? From head leads the tail. It doesn't say like, oh, this is two Crouching Tigers, so it gets 2 + 1. Nope. It is Crouching Tiger. It is also Crouching Tiger. And you only get points for being one Crouching Tiger. I think I was beginning to say, I know that Riptide is very popular right now. At least probably the most popular Riptide has been. There's a lot of new players trying out the deck. I don't think it's the most complicated deck. I know there's a lot that goes into it. I think some people would say that it's a lot. I can pay for that. Yeah. I wasn't gonna do anything with this. I know that a lot of players say it's a really complicated deck. I haven't played it enough, honestly, to know. I think it is a deck, and what are we gonna name this? We're gonna name this. Let's name it something funny. What's like a funny thing to name this? We're gonna name this Aether Wildfire. Get wildfired, nerd. I don't think Riptide's the most complicated deck. I do think it's a good deck, but right now it's not as good as it was 2 weeks ago. Now we're in a lot of trouble, though. I think they've got the game here at this point. They should be able to close it out. Yep, there we go. Yep. Nope, can't do it. Hopefully, though, that gave you an idea of what Zen is capable of, maybe in a more realistic way than some of these insane Omega Hyper combo Zen like turns that people are showing off. I will show some other lists that I have for Zen right now. I think this is the one. This one's more Tiger based. I do. All right, so let's edit a Zen list. In our sideboard, we have Mask of Momentum. We have 3 AB. So here's a list that runs cards that what I'm trying to do in this list is, first of all, we're going to get rid of these for blue. And I'm going to go boom, 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 boom. Probably going to swap out. Don't really like this in this list that much. We are currently at 80 cards. So right now in the sideboard, you'll see that it's all about reactions. Okay? Snag to prevent assassins from using reactions, prevent warriors from it. We have Hold the Line against Art of War decks. We have Flick Flack from when we... Also for decks that go wide, so similar to Art of War decks. This Rounds on Me is okay against ninjas, and it's just another way to draw cards, and you've played a blue, so you can transcend. We have Wax Off because we have Wax On as well. And as long as Wax Off is in the maybe board, I don't think we run Wax On. So let's take a look at this. Probably, Yeah, so the idea there being we want Zen state tokens. I'm gonna say that this is in general, here we have too much. This is a fantastic Enigma card. Mwah, beautiful Enigma card. Let's get rid of it. I don't want it. I don't want this. I want maybe one of this. One of that. Which means we only need two of those. Not interested in that or Flick Flack here. We're gonna try and go for more tigers in hand. Okay. Is this really an enticing target? I guess it is. Yeah, it is. So let's look at our Zen targets. We have these three cards. We also have Aspect and Pouncing Key. I'm taking out Pouncing Key. It doesn't have Natural Go Again. If it doesn't have Natural Go Again, it's gone. This is a 2 cost. Yes, it makes a tiger, but it costs too much. So this is where we go 100 wins. Put 100 wins back in the list. And now we also have plenty for shifting wins. And let's make it a 3 of. And, okay, this card is... I don't want to run that card. We are missing some good Transcend cards. So I think this card is great. This card's great if you can end a chain with it. But it's sort of dependent on your opponent's deck building, which is why I sort of like this one more, even though it's not as good at defending. Droplet is not good. This is interesting, right? I've talked about how good card draw is, so why would you play this? You would play this because it activates a Transcend card, but it's a dead... It's more often than not negative. Because if you have the blue with Go Again to attack and then draw, you didn't need a card to be able to transcend. You already had a blue attack action with Go Again. So what's our transcend count at right now? We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That I think is the sweet spot. And it's so much. But in here, let's also grab Art of War. And you can kind of see now, though, the problem here is I am changing the core tenant of this deck from being one that cares about debuffing their attacks and waiting to set up a big combo turn to just going all in on the combo. So I don't know. I think I just think this card's a trap. I'm willing to put 1 in the list. I'm willing to put less of these, less of these. I'll keep those in the list. We do run a good amount of cards that put tigers in our hands for this. I really like Mind State. Mind State is just so good when you need to set up. Oh, and here's a great example. I've got 64 cards that I've considered just for this version of the deck. Blue Sink Below is included there. I don't want to pitch for that, so never mind. I actually think this isn't a bad one either. You know, if you have an Art of War turn, and you know, especially if you played a card that says, you know, the next blue attack gets +2. This guy here, that's kind of what I wanted to do in that last game. So we'll put those in, like that. Maybe even just one of those. I'm gonna say one of those puts us to 56. And then I think we can... Let's try for Zen State by putting in just a few of these. So that gives us 60. Yeah, there's strong payoffs for combos and Chase the Tail. Key Unleashed. Mauling Key's okay. We have 100 wins for when we have a Shifting Winds turn. I think this is an okay list. For if you want to make a deck that feels like what I think Zen wants to feel like. So with that, I hope you go out there and make your own deck, that you find some new ways to play Zen, that you find a way to get excited about this hero. It is an exciting hero. I think in 2 years, this hero is going to have a lot of tools that it doesn't have now. Expansion slots for this hero could be, I mean, just absolutely game-changing. You know, I've talked to people about, you know, things that add more +1 to Crouching Tigers. I don't think that's the direction. I don't think we'll see much more of that. But we don't know what we're going to get from this hero in the future. I think right now it's in a tough space, and I look forward to seeing what players of a higher status are able to produce. And hopefully that's you. So get out there, start brewing, and thanks for watching.